30s and then start to fall back later in the afternoon. Tonight, increasing clouds and quite cold.
Okay, with these, Gary, I can lay these down.
Tomorrow, another rather breezy day with a
Great.
mix of sun and clouds.
Get them out of the way a
up a
little
bit
bit
in the afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Clouds sticking up tomorrow night. There could be a rain or snow shower overnight near 30. And any morning rain and snow mixed on Wednesday will change over to rain as you get into the afternoon and a high 35 to around 40. With a 1450 WCTC forecast, I'm meteorologist Tony Solimo.
In Elbridge, 34, Manville, 34, in New Brunswick, it's 34 degrees and mostly cloudy. WCTC News Time.
It's Gary Brenner with the
I'm Raquel Williams.
Convention of States Project. We are live in Somerset, New Jersey at WCTC 1450 Talk Radio.
The voice of Central Jersey. From politics to entertainment.
Convention of States New Jersey State Director Dan Gilligan is about to start talking with Marconi Award finalist and Morning Drive host Bert at WCTC 1450 Talk Radio.
Or toll free at 888-545-9282. Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450.
It is 7:37, and we're back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Our phone number is 732-545-9282. Toll-free number from anywhere is 888-545-9282. Our contest is coming up. Got your first chance to win some tickets to Taste of Middlesex. That will be at the Pines Manor in Edison on March 19th. I'll be hosting again. Just a great night of networking, and of course all the great restaurants and beverage distributors from around central New Jersey will all gather. Would love nothing more than to have you there with a free pair of tickets from us, and your first chance to win is coming up a little bit later on this morning. Special guest joining me inside the ProCure studios here to talk about something called the Convention of States Project. And one of the reasons why they say that this Convention of States is so important, reason number two, is because decisions for New Jersey should be made in New Jersey. And right away, that kind of caught my eye, and I couldn't agree more. So joining me inside the ProCure studios this morning is the New Jersey State Director of the Convention of States Project. We have Dan Gilligan, who is here. Good morning, Dan. Good to see you.
Good morning, Bert. Nice to see you.
Thank you for coming by. And I'd love to learn more about what exactly the Convention of States Project is and how a great state like New Jersey can benefit from being part of it. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Convention of States is a means by which regular citizens, Bert, like us, can get together and work with state legislators and through our state legislature to actually have an effect at the federal level. So you may say, well, geez, I vote, I pay attention to the news, I'm engaged in my community, but I'm concerned about things at the federal level. I'm concerned about the $20 trillion in debt. I'm concerned about the $100 trillion, 100, whatever that number is, in unfunded liabilities. I'm concerned about federal power issues and 400 federal agencies. This just doesn't really seem to be the way that things are supposed to be. And when I simply look at, the financial trajectory that we're on, I'm kind of concerned about, exactly how does this play out, because I don't think it's going to play out very well. So people are frustrated, and they're interested in, well, what is it that we can do to have a constructive effect? And Convention of States is it. Convention of States is really rather elegant that way, and in fact certainly legitimate, because at the time that the country was founded, the founders said, you know what, we're creating this federal government, we're creating it essentially to serve the states. We're creating it to do a number of things, but really we didn't create it so that we would have something bigger than us to tell us what to do. It was created to serve the states. And they sat there and they said, that's a fantastic idea. We're really doing really well, Thomas and all the gentlemen there, very brilliant men. But they said, because of human nature being what it is, and human power tending to aggregate and grow, this federal government might just get off the rails a little bit. It might start doing a lot more than we ever expect or intended to do. So let's put something in the Constitution that allows for the states to act as a check to that. And that's referred to as a Convention of States under Article 5. So, they were very prescient in doing that. And we feel, we volunteers, and we're all volunteers in New Jersey. Gary and I, we have full-time jobs just like the rest of us who are participating with this. We feel very, honored and grateful that we have the opportunity to constructively participate in what we see as helping out our country and helping out our government to kind of correct the course.
It always seemed like a double-edged kind of sword to me, Dan, when it comes to the relationship between state governments and federal governments, and I think New Jersey is a great example. Whereas, you know what, I like the idea that we kind of make decisions for ourselves. We have a government in place, we have state representatives, we have 122 people that make the decisions for 9 million of us. I'm fine with that. But it seems like no matter what state you live in, you always need to have, whether it's federal money, federal funding, in the event of a natural disaster, right away we're going to Washington, hey, we need some help, we need money with this. And we have representation at the federal level also. So it seems like, you know, it's sometimes more government is not always good, but sometimes you need to have the backing of a federal government too. Yeah. How do you address something like that?
Well, there certainly is an appropriate place for a federal government. You know, we believe in that, certainly. All that we're saying is that there is a little bit too much of that power that has aggregated in Washington. And we believe that that should be restricted. There is a role for government to do all types of kind of mutually beneficial things across the country, but that power has grown to the point to where the states almost look like administrative functionaries to the federal government.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and there's that Roman concept that, you know, power it best serves people to whom it is closest, because it is much tougher for a government to be, and I know there's certain states where, you know, you can make an argument against this, but it's tougher for a government to be more corrupt if it is really closer to you. It's easier for it to make mistakes, not just, you know, intentional corruption, but just to be mistaken if it's further away from the people that it's supposed to be serving. So we believe that power, and at this point, you know, you have, it's difficult to count how many federal agencies there are, but it looks like there's over 400.
Wow.
And they're essentially making law kind of outside of the constitutional prescription for making law. So we find that very troubling. You know, I love the country. The federal government does a lot of things right. We just think that the balance is out of whack.
Yeah.
And Bert, just as there is that concept that we're all very familiar with, that balance of power between the three branches of the federal government, you know, the executive, judiciary, Congress, there was expected to be that same dynamic between the states and the federal government. And that dynamic was supposed to be, or expected to be, kind of placed through this Article 5 process. So,
sure.
You know, it's very hard, this Article 5 process, and it's actually never been done, what we're trying to do. And some people believe that the fact that it's never been done is part of the reason why the country's having the difficulties that it is.
Gotcha. Talk about the Convention of States project and the national impact that it's had. Is there a lot of support for this in the other states that you've seen?
Well, you know, Gary and I, along with the rest of our team, we're amateurs at this. But we've been in business as the Convention of State project, so to speak, for approximately 4 years. And at this point, we have over 3 million supporters across the country.
Wow.
We have 12 states who have adopted our resolution. We're working hard to make New Jersey one of those.
That's fantastic.
But what I'm told, that's an extraordinarily rapid, you know, pace of success.
Oh, absolutely,
for a volunteer-based grassroots movement.
Wow. Okay. And there are some people that say that, you know what, the role of the federal government should be just, you know, protect our borders and mint coins and stay out of everything else. You're not calling for something that radical, are you?
No. All that we're saying, and we're not coming and saying, you know, these are our solutions. Just stick to minting coins and this kind of thing.
Right.
All that we're saying, in our platform, we have 3 platform items. We're saying the states should get together and talk about ways in which we can have the federal government restrict spending. I don't know what the solution to that is, and frankly, at this point, I'm not really interested if you want to stop, you know, reduce military spending or Medicare. You know, we're just saying we think that spending is a problem, and we think that Washington D.C. is structurally incapable of addressing that in a meaningful, significant way. Hey, but what are we going to do? Well, let's open up the cookbook. Let's see what the Constitution says. Recipe number Article 5 is right here.
Yeah.
We get the states together to consider ways to do this, and the states have the authority to do it.
And the timing of you, Dan, could not be better with our government facing another shutdown just this week. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We closed the store for 3 days.
Yeah.
We bought ourselves a little bit of time to February 8th, maybe thinking that February 8th would never get here. We're 3 days away. from seeing our federal government close again, shut down again.
Bert, I hear you. You know, and whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, it's really tough to look at Washington, D.C. and say, yeah, I'm kind of happy with how that's working. So
I don't know of anybody who has said that in a long time. You're right. You're right. We're going to come back. We'll spend some more time with our special in-studio guest. Dan Gilligan is here. He is the director, New Jersey State Director of the Convention of States Project. We'll come back. We'll give you some information. There's a website you can mention. You can sign the petition, get a lot more information, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Jersey Central traffic and weather time, 7:46. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on Jersey Central. Traffic update. Here's Tom Colangelo.
We're sponsored by Unbound.org.
Justin, I'll do Pelican at 55 because it's weather, so I'll do it with